Alright, budget magic time. Amonkhet standard zombies, mono black zombies. And this hand looks pretty good. Removal, some zombies. Uh-oh. Aw. It's the mirror. Well, who has the better zombies? Our opponent has more 1-drops. That's sketchy. See if they're splashing. I really like this build so far. I've been very impressed with it. I think we might have accidentally stumbled across a good build of zombies. Is it going to be Copycat and Mardu every game? Well, that's another story. But I think this is a pretty solid build of zombies. And in our current standard, being pretty solid. Oh, sweet. All right, it's black-white. I'm actually kind of excited for this because there's so many different possible zombie builds. I actually really want to know what other builds are like and what other people are trying to do. On paper, I don't like the black-white build. Could I be very wrong and it is the best build? Yes. But on paper, I think that black-white is the less than ideal build. Well, let's get in there. If we get got by Blessed Alliance, so be it. So right now, we're ahead on zombies. We'll have to see what white mana gives our opponent. Shambling Vent's a good one. Yeah. Well, this seems like opponent has the 1 mana white removal spell. Maybe we won't block there. Ugh. Alright, get in with both. I mean, I guess we got a Plague Belcher. Yeah, let's just put counters on Relentless Dead. If Relentless Dead dies, that's not the end of the world for us. Oh, Plague Belcher's so good. Opponent passes. We're not going to let them get us with that removal spell. Opponent has Plague Belcher. Counters on itself. Okay. Well, Grasp, Plague Belcher. Play a Swamp. Now, this doesn't feel good, but Grasp, Tread Wanderer. And get in with the crew. And that does it. Yeah, I gotta look up the name of that white removal spell. I never remember it because I don't think it's good. Call time to something. Time to lose because you're leaving up white mana and your opponent's playing around it. I'm sure they didn't actually name it Time to Lose, but they should have. Time to Reflect, aka Time to Lose. So I feel like that's what was going on in that game, and our opponent was... it's a trap! White Zombies, it's a trap. That card makes you think it's good because it's 1 mana and an exile thing, and you trick yourself into thinking, oh, this is like Zombie Path to Exile. But I'm pretty sure what was going on in that game is our opponent was just sitting on Time to Lose, Time to Reflect, and it was obvious and we knew it, so it was very easy to play around it. And I don't know if we can say our opponent lost because of that, but it certainly didn't increase our opponent's odds of winning. And Trespasser's Curse is coming in. We learned when someone sided it in against us that it is absolutely insane against zombies. We did win the match, but it felt very close to unbeatable. So, go up Trespasser's Curse. Go up Dark Salvation. Or down Dark Salvation. Go down a Doom Dissenter. Go down a Doom Dissenter for a Scarab's Feast. Go down... Well, I could imagine this going long. Let's keep Midnight Oil. Let's try it like that. And... okay. Not bad. I mean, Relentless Dead, Plague Belcher, some removal. We'll keep it. Swamp for our opponent. And the Crypt Breaker. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to kill that before it starts generating value. Swamp Goo. Swamp for our opponent. Gets in. Does not get in. Alright. Well, pass the turn. We're going to play off curve to kill this Crypt Breaker. Crypt Breaker is very strong when it lives. Discards a Crypt Breaker. Well, that's good. We will kill the Crypt Breaker. Discarding Crypt Breaker is kind of ambitious. Concealed Courtyard. And Wayward Servant. So, I mean, I guess this is one of the reasons to go white is Wayward Servant in the 2-drop slot. We have Doom Dissenter. But, I mean, Wayward Servant's probably better. Well, let's just Relentless Dead. Dread Wanderer, pass the turn. If they kill our Relentless Dead, then whatever. And then we have Dread Wanderer to put our Plague Belcher counters on, potentially. We're not going to block here, though. We will take the beats. Down to 14. Relentless Dead for our opponent. Gets to drain us. More swamps. Well, let's just pass the turn. See what our opponent does. Time to Lose might be good here. Opponent goes attacking. Well, kill Wayward Servant. Block there. Opponent does not have it, or does not use it. Opponent passes. Ooh, that's good. Well, let's Trespasser's Curse. Play a Swamp. Just get in with Relentless Dead. Uh-oh. Alright, that's fine. Opponent grasps. We get back Dread Wanderer. Get back Relentless Dead. And pass the turn. Oh, Relentless Dead is very good. It's sad that it hasn't seen play up to this point, really, but man, that card's good. This whole zombie deck actually feels pretty strong. Like I said, I mean, is it going to be tier 1, beat Copycat, beat etc., Mardu vehicles? Probably not, but it is very good. Well, let's get in with Dread Wanderer, since we're going to Plague Belcher it anyway. Then play Relentless Dead. Play our Plague Belcher. Put the counters on the Dread Wanderer. Drain our opponent for 1. And pass the turn. Alright, there goes Plague Belcher. Festering Mummy. Well, we get a Drain trigger. And we can't block Relentless Dead here. Opponent passes. Play the Swamp. Get back Dread Wanderer. And let's just pass. Draw a few more lands than we'd like. Or, I guess mostly, we haven't drawn much big stuff to go with our lands. Certainly blocking Festering Mummy if we get the chance. Would love to be able to cycle this Relentless Dead. Alright, there's Relentless Dead. Down to 8. I feel like we're super far ahead because of Trespasser's Curse, even though we're not really ahead on board. Ugh. Alright, play the Swamp, pass the turn. Well, now if we get a chance, we'll double block. Opponent has Anguish in Making. Jeez. More action spells, really? Opponent has Plague Belcher. The biggest problem we have here is our opponent's just outspelled us. We're on 9 lands, our opponent's on 5 lands, and those 4 extra spells, even though I believe our build is better, is going to end up spelling our doom. We just have not drawn action. Alright, we're down to 5, so now we gotta draw something this turn or we are quite literally dead next turn. And Dread Wanderer is not something because it enters the battlefield tapped. Alright, well, kind of paid the price there. We just drew really poorly. Unfortunate, I would say. Well, I mean, let's run it back. I still think that Mono Black is significantly better than Black White. But you can definitely see how the variance plays into Magic there with very similar decks. Just the difference between who draws more spells and who draws more lands. Alright, this time we have a very nice hand. We have spells, we have lands to cast them. So this looks pretty much exactly like what we want. If we get Crypt Breaker value, that's excellent. And Trespasser's Curse on turn 2 is super good. Opponent has Crypt Breaker. Well, since our opponent played a Crypt Breaker, I think we actually have to just grasp their Crypt Breaker. In the zombie mirror, you want to be the one with the Crypt Breaker. Get in, 4-1, and pass the turn. Our opponent's going to have to answer Trespasser's Curse or they're going to lose the game. We did see Anguish Unmaking. Not another one. Oh, man. Opponent, really? Well, play... Actually, let's attack with Crypt Breaker. I don't expect our opponent to take the trade. They do not. So play a Swamp. Trespasser's Curse our opponent. Play Dreadwander. And pass the turn. So if they can't kill our Crypt Breaker, we're going to get the first draw. Opponent passes. Well, play Lord of the Accursed. And pass the turn. We're just going to draw a card here. Kills our Lord. We draw land. Alright. Wouldn't have minded drawing that in our main phase, but felt weird to tap out then. That does mean our opponent didn't get to activate Crypt Breaker. Opponent passes. Goes with Diregraph Colossus. Gets drained. We'll play the Swamp. Kill Diregraph. Kill Crypt Breaker. And get in for 2. Well, now our opponent's very caught underneath this Trespasser's Curse. That's where Trespasser's Curse is so painful. When you're behind, and the zombie deck is naturally grindy, but you gotta play stuff to stay alive. Wayward Servant. Opponent gets some drain action. Ooh. That is, I'm pretty sure, our advantage in this matchup. I imagine that our opponent does not have Liliana's Mastery because, from what I've heard from talking to people, most zombie decks have not been playing it. Watch them play it. Ah, they are playing it. All right. Sweet. Well, fair. Good call, opponent. I think that is one of the sneaky good cards for zombies, so I'm impressed that our opponent got to it. Good news is we have the Crypt Breaker. And if we draw land, we also have Liliana's Mastery. Doomed Dissenter. There's the land. Alright, play the land. Play the Mastery. Oh, Mastery fights. Pass the turn. Pretty sure we're still winning, though, because of Crypt Breaker primarily. Jeez. Alright, well, our opponent has another Mastery, which is pretty good. So we might not be winning now. If they didn't have this Wayward Servant, we'd be way ahead. And a Dreadwander. Opponent passes. Well, we get to draw a card. It's a Swamp. And a Swamp. Ugh. We'll play Doom Dissenter. Play a Swamp. Pass the turn. This gives us mana that we could block with Relentless Dead and get back Lord of the Accursed. Opponent gets a tap land. Guessing our opponent just won't attack. Sweet. Well, block, block, block. I think this works out really well for us. Block. Tap our zombies to draw a card before they die. Man, Crypt Breaker's so sweet. Ooh, and a Plague Belcher. Alright, so Relentless Dead dies. I guess our opponent rightly felt like, most likely because of Crypt Breaker, they would probably have a hard time getting back into the winning the long game, so they felt like they had to go attacking. But this works out really well for us. We get our Lord back, we get another zombie, we get Relentless Dead back. Yeah, I don't think our opponent saw it. They just said oops. Well, let's draw a card. Another Lord. Well, let's do that. Lord of the Accursed. So now our zombies are bigger than our opponent's zombies. Well, I like our opponent's deck, but I still think Mono Black is better. And we didn't actually see the bad white removal spell, so I think our opponent's deck is good for being white-black zombies. They have Liliana's Mastery, which is key. Well, that's a lot of chumping. Okay. I guess we could have played Plague Belcher. Yeah, let's just Relentless Dead. Pass the turn. I've decided I don't think Diregraph Colossus is good enough. I think Lord of the Accursed is definitely better. The Red Wanderer comes back, drains our opponent. Do we just win here? I think if we discard a card, we definitely do. Discard a Relentless Dead. That's a lot of 5/5s. And we got the GGs! Well, Mono Black taking down White-Black zombies. Our opponent's deck was sweet, though. I like it. I still think Mono Black is the way to go, but... Whoo! Zombies! I like this deck. It is really sweet, and it has a lot of good cards. And we've discovered some good things. For being our very first week of Amonkhet Standard, we've discovered some sweet things about zombies. Thanks for watching the video. If you haven't already, take a minute and click that subscribe button. It's a great way to support the channel for free, and you'll find the next video in the playlist right here.